Storytime with Me TV, where books come alive. Mila loved to explore her backyard, especially right after school. One sunny afternoon, while digging near the old oak tree, she found something strange. A glowing marble, smooth and warm like sunlight caught in a bubble. She held it up to the sky and gasped. Swirls of color danced inside it like tiny waves. Mila stuffed it into her purple backpack and ran inside, her heart full of wonder and questions. At dinner, she tried to show her parents, but the marble looked dull in the kitchen light. "It was glowing," Mila insisted, but her parents just smiled and nodded politely. In her bedroom that night, Mila placed the marble on her windowsill. Moonlight streamed through, and it shimmered softly, but it didn't move. She tapped it gently. Nothing happened. The next day, Mila brought the marble to school, hoping it would glow again. She showed it to her best friend, Jamie, who squinted and said, "Looks like a normal marble to me." Mila frowned. Frustrated, Mila decided she would figure it out herself. She spent the whole afternoon turning it, shaking it, even whispering to it. But the marble stayed still. That evening, she stomped into the backyard and shouted, "Why won't you do something?" The marble, resting in her palm, remained quiet. Mila sighed and sat cross-legged in the grass. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves above her. Crickets chirped. Mila looked up and noticed the clouds slowly drifting past the moon. She took a deep breath and listened. The next day, she returned to the oak tree, sat down, and simply held the marble in her hands. She closed her eyes and waited, not expecting anything at all. Minutes passed. Then, in the quiet, she felt a tiny warmth grow in her palms. When she opened her eyes, the marble glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. "You're awake," she whispered. The marble swirled with light again, just like before. Mila smiled, but didn't try to control it this time. She just watched. She started visiting the marble each afternoon, not to make it do anything, but just to sit. Sometimes she drew in her sketchbook or listened to the wind. On rainy days, she brought the marble inside, setting it on the windowsill while she read books or built block towers. It glowed softly beside her. She noticed something wonderful. The more she waited patiently, the more often the marble shimmered or flickered with color. But only when she was still. One day, she sat with the marble, and a small yellow butterfly landed on her knee. She stayed perfectly still. The marble glowed, and Mila giggled softly. Mila began sharing her quiet times with Jamie. "Don't expect it to do anything," Mila told her. "Just sit with it." Jamie looked skeptical but tried. They sat silently under the oak tree, knees touching, hands open. The marble rested between them. After a while, Jamie Gaspedite had flickered. "You were right," Jamie whispered. "It really does something, but only if you don't ask it to." Mila nodded proudly. "That's what I've learned too." Later, Jamie brought her own rock to sit with. It didn't glow, but they both watched the clouds float by. And somehow, that was enough. At school, Mila no longer rushed through projects or interrupted in class. Her teacher noticed. "You're very patient these days," she said, smiling. Mila grinned. "I learned from a marble," she replied. Everyone laughed, but she knew it was true. The marble had changed something inside her. That night, she placed the marble in a small glass jar on her shelf. She didn't need it to glow anymore. It had already given her its gift. Now, Mila looked for quiet moments everywhere, in the sound of rain on the roof, in the stillness before bed, in the hush of early morning. And sometimes, just sometimes, the marble would shimmer when she passed by. not because she asked, but because she noticed.